give the money that they were promised so they can rebuild their businesses or homes. People are sleeping on cots. Governor Cuomo thinks it's a good idea to take their money and put it into thinly disguised political ads called startup. If you're a business person in Texas or Georgia or North or South Carolina, you're absolutely hysterical at the thought of leaving a low-tax, fairly regulated state that is booming economically and attracting businesses, and going to go to New York, the worst of the worst, and get crushed? Come on, nobody's buying it. In fact, I was talking to the governor of North Carolina, and he said to me, he goes, y'all got to stop sending your residents down to North Carolina. They're starting to change our accents. But that's the point. Too many people are leaving New York to escape the high taxes and the cost of living and going places where the jobs are and where people are.
So isn't that something where I could report that? Like, shouldn't that be something where he would have to seek some kind of ethics approval to get that run? I mean, that
Unfortunately, the state legislature passed
J-Joke was J-Joke, so yeah. I know that's nowhere to start. But,
Well, we're blowing a hole in today. I mean, we have been too. One more question. I got to get out to. Yes, sir.
You mentioned in your speech before about pockets of Republicans in Europe. There's a huge pocket in Staten Island.
Yes.
It would be great if you could come down to Staten Island and come speak down there.
We'll be there. We've already been. We'll be there many times. Staten Island, critical to campaign.
Yeah, we got Borelli, we got LA Caucus.
And they've been terrific. And Staten Island obviously can and will vote Republican. They've done it many times. We'll be there often. And so Staten Island has to be big for us. And obviously the areas in Brooklyn and Queens that are likely to vote Republican or could vote Republican, we need to pull them out.
If you have not done so already, please sign that petition.
I must ask this question because I came here on the behalf of at least 5 families in Brooklyn. We have unbelievable situation nobody's aware about, nobody knows about, but since 2006, Mayor Bloomberg, by a legal executive order, exactly like just Obama's, he didn't put it through the city council, he just took a piece of paper and signed it. He organized the agency within Mayor's office. It's called Mayor's Office of Special Enforcement. So this agency has unbelievable possibilities. It has a possibility of multi-agency, multitask reply, Department of Building, Department of Investigation, Fire Department, and NYPD, and so on, and others. It has possibility to contact court administration, civil and criminal, and it has possibility to share information with the law enforcement. And what is happening secretly, without media addressing it, without anybody addressing, with all Democratic politicians saying the same thing, pushing you away. Somebody either by next to you or just knock on the door and saying, I'm taking over your property. So we have 5 families. We are Hawkinshaws. We even were all over the press because my husband was arrested and framed for 7 years in jail for his property to be taken. So we must give away our property. We, 16 years, were paying mortgages, we were financially secure, we had life savings, at least $150,000. We must give away everything. Department of Building approving to build over on our property, Department of Investigation permitting it, Fire Department, Police Department harassing us to the point of the false arrest. And other families in the same situation. What to do? We tried everything. We went to civil court, but civil court can't solve financial crimes. Right. And this agency was created to solve financial crimes and got federal funds for it, about 617 or something millions. And for the victims with financial crimes, with the hardship. So we lost everything. We went to the civil court just to lose our property through the court. And judges getting called, attorneys taking your money, like $10,000 retainer, and run away. Matter of fact, Matthew Cuomo, the relative of Andrew Cuomo, he took from us thousands of money and took just money, stole it. And when we came to him saying, do something, file something on our
Was he
behalf.
a lawyer, or how did he?
He is in law. He is
was
the
a
lawyer.
lawyer?
He's the Cuomo LLC. He has office on Long Island and in Manhattan. He said to us, sue me. He stole my money and I got to sue him. And this is, we found only like about 6, 7 families, but it's much more. It's much more there because all 5 boroughs are targeted. And DA offices on it, FBI told us it is not dispute of the property, it's stealing. So it's our case. And especially don't go to civil court because it's under color of law.
Irina.
But then later they said,
Irina, if you can
Yes.
pass on whatever the information you want, and I
Yeah.
can pass it on to
Yeah.
their campaign.
I'm
Hopefully they can
unfamiliar
look
with something like that, so I'll have to look at it. I'm
yeah,
sorry about what you're
it's
going through.
outrageous. It's like World War II.
Can we ask one more question about all the regulatory agencies and the overreach from Obama's administration coming down into state level?
Yeah, the regulatory climate in this state is so bad. It was just ranked by one of the groups that does, I think it's called Thumbtack, that does the Small Business Association's polling of states. And New York is bottom of the barrel again in small businesses because of, it's even less so they're concerned about taxes, more so about the regulations.
Regulations are up.
Because what's happened in this state, all these agencies have become basically the oppressors. They go in, they fine. They go in, they penalize. They go in, they harass. To comply with all these agencies, generally with all different jurisdictions, overlapping jurisdictions. I've talked to a lot of different people. All they do now, all week, is deal with agencies, or their accountants, or their lawyers, just to deal with these agencies. So the burden has become one that, again, it's driving people, especially upstate, out.
So how can you push back?
Well, a lot of these agencies report to, they're a function of the executive branch. So the governor ultimately is responsible through the commissioners to deal with it. We've changed that in Westchester. That was one of the first things I heard from the business community. So we worked in a real way with the business community, small and big, to start dealing with some of these nuisance things. I mean, New Yorkers are getting nickel and dime to death. That's why they're fleeing the state in droves. And these are the things that really matter and can make or break a business too. So it's dealing with these agencies in a different fashion, and it stems from the top, period.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.